Dost remember the long wall that is about the garden of thy father's house? Yes, said Robin, of course. Why? Dost remember, too, the wall about the tower or any other wall? Robin nodded. Have they not all a door somewhere? Yes, said Robin again. Always remember that, said the friar. Thou hast only to follow the wall far enough, and there will be a door in it. Next up on my read through the Newbery Award winners, we have The Door in the Wall by Marguerite de Angeli. Marguerite de Angeli was born in 1889 in Michigan. She was very musical and dreamed of becoming an opera singer when she grew up. She actually had the opportunity to perform in an opera by Oscar Hammerstein, but she had met someone and fallen in love, and so she decided to marry and start a family instead. And she said she never regretted that decision. However, she was very artistic and wanted an outlet for that, and so she ended up starting writing and illustrating children's books. She got up early to work and she stayed up late to take art lessons and worked around her large growing family. She was known as a very caring and empathetic and compassionate person. Many of her characters face struggles like disabilities, and she's believed to be the first person to write a children's book that specifically had an African American child facing racism. She tried to treat all of her characters with dignity and respect no matter the challenges that they faced. She mainly wrote about children in the United States, but she had this desire to write a book set in medieval England. She started doing a ton of reading and book research and was able to take a 2-week trip to England in order to continue her research. That turned into The Door in the Wall, which won the Newbery Award in 1950. She went on to write many other books, publishing her last book at the age of 92. So The Door in the Wall follows young Robin, a 10-year-old boy in medieval England. His father is a knight and has been called away to war. His mother is a lady who has been called to serve at the Queen's court. He is to become a page in another knight's household and is left in the care of servants for a couple of days. Unfortunately, there's plague in the city, and the messenger from the other knight gets sick and doesn't arrive, and all of the servants of the house also fall ill and leave. He is alone for a day before Brother Luke, a traveling friar, gets word that he's there by himself and goes and takes him back to his monastery. Robin has also been ill, though not with the plague, and whatever it is that has happened has affected his legs. He is unable to walk, and it has also affected his spine, and he's unable to straighten up. At the beginning of the book, I found Robin very unlikely. He's hot-tempered and rude, but what we see over the course of the book is him maturing and learning how to grow and how to handle his feelings in a proper way, but also how to think of others and not just himself. A lot of this comes through the patience and kindness of Brother Luke, who kind of ends up adopting him, not as a son, but as a ward, and trying to help him get to where he's supposed to be, but also helps teach him life lessons and encourages him to strengthen his mind and body as much as he can and not give in to melancholy or despair just because he has this physical limitation. As Robin goes stronger, he and Brother Luke and a traveling minstrel, John in the Wind, end up traveling together to get Robin to the knight's house where he was supposed to initially have gone. He is concerned that he won't be accepted because he can't do many of the traditional page tasks. But he is welcomed, and they find a place for him in a way that he can still be a page. The castle is attacked by the Welsh and there is a siege, and Robin is actually the one who figures out a way to get help and help save the day. There are a lot of external adventures and things that are going on that keep the story moving, but a lot of this is really focused on Robin's growth of character and development into a young man. The book is set in medieval England and was written in 1949, so there is some language around disability that is quite different than we would use now. There's also a lot of disparaging talk, particularly about the Welsh and the Scots. There's some rough treatment of and by some of the characters, but there's also a strict sense of right and wrong, and of course the chivalric code and honor and kindness are lauded, though there are sometimes Robin takes this too far, calling things unmanly or babyish that really aren't. I really appreciated the treatment of Robin's disability, that it wasn't dismissed as something unimportant or something like you have to overcome, but it was shown as something he had to learn how to live with and deal with, and that he could still live a full life, have friends, have a purpose, and find ways to do what he could, as well as encouragement from other characters to grow as he could, to strengthen what he could within reasonable expectations. And I liked that balance that D'Angeli draws in here, particularly for a book written in the late 40s. I thought that it handled it particularly well. This is a fairly short, pretty quick read, and I really ended up enjoying it a lot more than I thought I was going to from the first couple of chapters. I also would be curious to read more by this author, and that's not always the case with some of the books I read for the Newbery. So I've already actually put an interlibrary loan request for her autobiography because I think that that would be really interesting. Next up, we have A Misfortune Free Man by Elizabeth Yates. Thanks and happy reading!